everybody, my name is Allison. I'm the Programs, Outreach, and Youth Services Manager here at Monterey County Free Libraries. Thank you for joining me today for our first ever Book Chat Teens. One of the very cool parts of my job is that I am in charge of purchasing all of the materials for the entire system for teens. So I purchase all of the young adult materials, both books, nonfiction, graphic novels, audiobooks, all of it, I buy it. Today I wanted to talk to you all about a great new graphic novel called Dragon Hoops by Gene Yang. You might know Gene Yang from some of his other graphic novels, particularly his award-winning book American Born Chinese, which was his first graphic novel. This one is his latest. It's very long for a graphic novel. It clocks in, let me double check, at 445 pages. So it is a big book, but it's very, very good. So Dragon Hoops is kind of a nonfiction. It is about Gene Yang's experience as a teacher in Oakland and working with a basketball team at his school. So it takes place in between graphic novels that he's written, and he's not really sure where he's going to go for his next story. And he starts paying a little bit more attention to the basketball team at the school where he works and finds a lot of inspiration from the basketball team. So I'm just going to read you the little description on the inside cover. Gene Luen Yang understands stories, comic book stories in particular. Big action, bigger thrills, and the hero always wins. But Gene doesn't get sports. As a kid, his friends called him Stick, and every basketball game he played ended in pain. He lost interest in basketball long ago, but at the high school where he now teaches, it's all anyone can talk about. The men's varsity team, the Dragons, is having a phenomenal season that's been decades in the making. Each victory brings them closer to their ultimate goal, the California State Championship. Once Gene meets these young all-stars, he realizes that their story is just as thrilling as anything he's seen on a comic book page. He knows he has to follow this epic to its end. What he doesn't know yet is that this season is not only going to change the Dragons' lives, but his own as well. So I have to admit, when I first saw this book, I purchased it for the system because it's by Gene Yang, and I knew that it would be a good one because his work is really great, but I didn't really have a lot of interest in it. Then during COVID, I decided to support a local bookstore, and this was just one of the books that I purchased because I figured it was a safe bet because, again, I really liked Gene Yang's work. And I have to tell you, this is probably the best graphic novel that I have ever read. If you only read graphic novels for action and superhero stories, then maybe you're not going to enjoy this one as much. But if you like to read graphic novels that are realistic and based in reality, and like I said, this is a nonfiction one, then you're going to like this one. Gene Yang does an amazing job of weaving in all these different stories. He weaves in his own personal story about his path from deciding whether he's going to keep teaching or focus on comics. He weaves in the history of basketball is in there. He weaves in all of the backstories of all of these teenagers who are on this team, the backstory of the coach, and there's an element in there of one particular backstory that he does such a good job of weaving in such a suspenseful way that I was literally on the edge of my seat wanting to skip ahead and see what this kind of darker side of one of the characters was. And so he did such a great job of creating this sense of suspense in a book that's based on a basketball tournament. And it's not even the suspense of whether the team's going to win or not. It's just you get so wrapped up in these characters' lives, you want to know what's going to happen with them. This is a young adult book, probably better for upper high school students and adults. There are some heavy topics in there, a lot of discussion on racism, classism. There is an element of molestation that takes place. So you do want to know about those going in. It is a very, very interesting book, and there are definitely parts that are lighthearted, but it is very based in reality. So there are those darker and more heavy-hitting sides as well. But I would highly recommend this to anybody who enjoys graphic novels. I finished it very, very quickly despite the big page count. And the art and the way that the action is depicted is just great. Gene Yang does a wonderful job of showing all the different sides of this story, like I said. And I hope that you'll check it out. We have it in our collection, so you could put it on hold and pick it up curbside. And I will see you next time for another Book Chat Teens. Thank you for joining me, and have a nice day. Bye, everybody.